Hey YouTube, it's Friday and I'm just editing yesterday's vlog for my vlogging channel. So if you're not on the vlogging channel, you should be, and I will put the link below. The vlogging channel, I kind of discuss what's happening each day. Sometimes it's daily changes in my hips and stuff. Usually what the vlogging channel is, before my surgery, the vlogging channel was our crazy family. It's just changed a little bit. The dynamics have switched temporarily, so bear with me, okay? It's like a slight interruption of service, but all will be resumed. I needed to do this video. I've done it once already, and then I had to get rid of the footage because I crammed my phone full of too many things and I couldn't edit anything. I was going to do it live today, however, I forgot that Oliver finishes school at 1:10 and I cannot expect him to be quiet if I'm doing live. He's got ADHD. I just can't. It's not possible for me to say to him, can you be quiet and let me get on with this? That's not fair. So I have to do it like this and edit it, which is cool. But my battery is low, which is not cool. And the plug's been moved and I've got to now go and find it on my crutch. Okay, I'm back. I'm desperate to tell you like how I'm feeling today and what's going on today, but that's another video. That's a vlog. That's for the vlogging channel. Okay. You need to know this if you're going into hospital for surgery, if you're just generally nosy and love it when things go wrong, or if you just are my friend. But I have some stuff to share, and hang on a minute, I'm trying to get my leg up on my bed while we talk. I have this nifty thing that lifts the leg up. Okay. So, I went in last Friday and had a hip replacement. Prior to having a hip replacement, I was diagnosed with bilateral hip dysplasia and severe osteoarthritis, I don't know, a couple of years ago. I've suffered for how old's Becky? 15 years. On and off. It got worse as the years progressed, so it started off with niggles. Anyway, over those 15 years, I saw various doctors. My first doctors just treated me like an idiot and just said I had idiopathic back pain. And their best treatment was lots and lots of medicine. All different things. They tried me on strong stuff that blew my head. I'm talking like your Lyricas, Oromorph, which is the morphine, pain patches, which are hella strong and give me massive headaches. And it was only when I became more knowledgeable, and took it upon myself to learn more things, that I decided to tell them what I wanted to try, and I found what worked for me. Modified form of tramadol, so it's not a quick release into the body because I can't handle it. It blows my brain. It hurts like hell. So it's a slow release tramadol, and I take it in the morning, and it just hangs around, you know. And then if I need a little bit of top up, I take some cocodamol 3500. Okay, 30 milligrams of codeine, 500 milligrams of paracetamol. When I went into hospital, they asked me for my medicines, what I take. Okay, so I showed them and they said, right, we'll take these, and then whatever you're prescribed are for surgery, that's what you'll have, okay? And I was like, yep, that's cool. I trust them. Their job is medicine. They have the knowledge. I know, right, that if you stop any or specific medicines, they can make you very sick, very, very sick. So I trusted that they were aware of this too. The first couple of days after surgery, I was out of it anyway. I was in agony. I was like, you just don't question anything. Your main focus is getting through the day, and you're on Oromorph every 2 hours, and you're just like, whatever. Sleep, wake up, move your legs. Sleep, wake up, have some lunch. Sleep. I actually didn't eat. So, and then I started getting sick. The Sunday when they tried to, or Saturday when they tried to get me out of bed, I had two physios trying to get me out of bed, and I couldn't walk because the nerve block was still making my leg wobbly, so I was like Bambi. And they got me in a chair in the end, and then they just said, you know, sit in the chair, it's good for you. I said, all right. Within 5 minutes, I said, I don't feel well, and I just felt my skin go wet. And the nurses came over. My blood pressure was super low, like 60 something over 40 something, like super low. My pulse was 118. They were like, right, let's get her into bed. So they got me back into bed, and that was it. I was not allowed out of bed that day. But my pulse, my blood pressure started to level. I've always had lowish blood pressure, like 110/70 kind of area. But not low medically as a problem. My blood pressure sort of evened out, but my pulse did not. It continued to sit around 100, 110. My fever started to rise, and I started to feel really ill. Couldn't eat. Just drinking cold fluids was uncomfortable. The coldness of it was uncomfortable. The blood pressure cuff going on my arm felt like somebody had put a block of ice on me. Trying to go to the toilet, they took my catheter out and said, "Come on, you need to pee," and I couldn't. My bladder shut down. I couldn't go. It just wouldn't open up. It just wouldn't. And they scanned my tummy. They were wonderful, by the way. They were wonderful. They scanned my tummy, and I had sort of 738 millilitres of fluid in my bladder just sitting there. And she said, "This must be so painful." And she put the monitor on, and my pulse was then 130, 125 beats a minute. My blood pressure was a little bit low. My fever was going up. She said, "Right, I'm going to put a catheter back in." So that was relieved. That was great. And instantly it was like, oh, like you're having the world's longest pee without even having to push. Because I was just crying. I was just crying in pain. And then I started getting sicker, though. As Andrew said to me, "Are they giving you your MaxiTram?" And I said, I no. I've just trusted that they've made the right decision. He said, "Love, your body is in shock. You must tell them." So I called the nurse practitioner, which is like they have the power to prescribe as doctors and stuff. And I said to her, "I haven't been given my tramadol." And she said, you were on tramadol." She didn't know. So whoever took my medicine, which was the pharmacy department, when they signed me into hospital, had not continued this conversation. This conversation had not gone to the people it needed to go to, who were going to be my caregivers. They were completely unaware of what was happening to me. And it was like sending them doolally with worry. And I said to her, "Look, I'm on a modified form of tramadol. If you stop it, suddenly your body goes into like a shock, like a shock state." I said, "Could that be causing these symptoms?" And she said, "Absolutely." She said, "Right, I don't know what to do." And I showed her, on my phone, I have an app that is linked to my doctor's surgery, and I can literally click a button and order my prescription. So I showed her my prescription so she knew that I wasn't, pulling a fast one or anything like that. And basically she said, "Right, okay, we're going to have to start this in the morning then, and we'll get you back on track." Meanwhile, doing everything they can to bring the fever down. I've got this, those Dyson fans. I've got that in my frigging face. I'm sat under covers shaking. My skin all over hurt. My skin hurt like so much. My stomach was churning. I felt like I just wanted to die. I don't think I've ever felt so bad, so frightened and helpless, because someone has taken away something it's made me ill, and I can't have it back yet. And it's like, please just help me. I just want to feel better. And I wasn't progressing with my physio and my healing because I was so sick. Anyway, I'm trying not to cry because I just look like an idiot. That night, the shift change came on, and the nurse said, "I'm really worried about what I'm looking at you in your chart." She said, "If this continues, I'm going to call the doctors tonight to come and see you urgently." And I told her about my medication, and she said, "Well, I just don't like what I'm seeing." I said, "All right, okay." She was wonderful. I won't say her name, but if you're watching, thank you. She took care of me like almost every hour through the night. It was like something was going on every hour. I'd drift off to sleep, I'd wake up and she was coming to check my pulse and my temperature again, and my fever just kept climbing. My pulse was racing. It didn't go down. My pulse didn't start to even slightly change for 36 hours. And I just felt like I had galloping horses in my chest and that my skin was on fire, but I was freezing. she didn't like it one bit, so she called the doctor in the middle of the night, and the doctor came out in the middle of the night and took a load of bloods. And she said, you need tramadol now, not tomorrow. So they gave me some there and then. But because it's a slow release, it didn't make an instant difference. I continued to be ill through the night. They had me in for a chest x-ray at like 2:30 in the morning. I didn't know what was going on. I was like, oh, really ill, off my face, like shaking, freezing. And they'd rushing me down in a trolley bed. And because they said it gave me the symptoms of like septic shock. My body, to them, looking at my charts, it indicated that I was having a serious infection or shock to the surgery, but it wasn't. It was a shock to them stopping my medication. You cannot stop it. It has to be staggered down. You can't stop gabapentin, which is an anti-seizure medicine also used as a nerve pain treatment. You can't stop it. You have to take it down in steps. So I was in full withdrawal, basically. I was ever so sick, ever so poorly. I felt incredibly vulnerable, really frightened. The next morning, they started me on potassium as well, because apparently my potassium levels were slightly low, which is fine. And they started me on the tramadol. And it took about 24 hours for me to start to feel human. The pain I was experiencing in my wound was horrific, because I was on less pain relief after my surgery, because I stopped the Oramor because it was making me feel sleepy and sick. So I ended up on less pain relief than I'd been in before I went in. Sorry, my phone rang. I don't know where I was. I think I was just explaining how I felt, which was petrified, really, and very vulnerable. Anyway, when it came to Tuesday, I knew I wanted to go home. I woke up Tuesday morning. I was back in a regular routine with my medicines. My pain was a lot more under control because I had my medicines, so I could do my physio. So suddenly they were like, wow, you can really move that leg. And I was like, yeah, if I'd have had the pain relief, then I would have been able to do it a long time ago. Crazy. Nobody seemed to know why the decision was made or who made it. Nobody owned up and said, yeah, well, I thought it would be best if. Nobody did that. Everybody seemed confused about why I had been stopped. You cannot stop that medication. It makes you really ill. I'm home now. It's now Friday. I am still having episodes of fast heart rate. I'm still not levelled out yet. Ward's sister even said to me, your potassium wasn't that low. She said, I don't know why they're making the fuss. We know exactly what's made you this ill. And another nurse practitioner said to me, you've been a very, very poorly lady. You've had a rough few days. And I'm like, thank you for acknowledging that, because I honestly thought that they thought I was going mad. You know what I mean? I felt like I was going to die. And all their indications were like, shit, she's got a massive infection in her body or something. This could have all been avoided. That's my point, right? This wasn't the hip surgery that caused this. So if you're waiting for a hip replacement, or you've been asked to have a hip replacement, don't associate it with that. This could happen to anyone having any operation. The fact of the matter is, somewhere in the line of command, someone has made a decision to stop a medication without consulting me or my GP and without properly staggering it off, causing me to be very poorly. I don't know who. I'm angry that it happened to me, and I'm upset because I felt like, how can I trust them with my care when that happened to me? I felt like really vulnerable and I didn't like it. But you don't have to go through that, and that's why I wanted to share it. There are steps you can take and things you can do to stop that happening. And the first one is to make it very clear at any pre-op assessments and on the day of admission that you will be having that medication. And I suggest that if they ask you to bring in all your medication, you just bring in enough for a couple of days in hospital, right? And then have a relative or friend be able to access it, because if the hospital does mess up your medication and lose it, like, you know, they couldn't find mine, they had to go and find it, you know you've got some, because they'll leave you waiting. That's not right. If the doctor then says to you, no, you can't have this one with this one, that's fine. They know what they're doing in that sense. But mistakes are made. I'm proof of that. If I'd have had my tramadol by my bedside, or Andrew offered to bring it in and I said no. I trust them, they'll be fine. And that trust is broken now. I should have let him bring it in. I would have been out 2 days earlier. I wouldn't have missed my daughter's birthday. Sorry. I felt so bad missing her birthday, her 15th. She had to come from college to see me in a state, in a hospital bed, shaking with fever and really poorly, and that was her birthday. You need to make sure, if you're going to be going into hospital, that everything is fully discussed and they are fully aware, because clearly I did not make enough noise early enough about it, but I shouldn't have had to, okay, because it was on my notes. But you got to have a backup plan. Have a backup plan and keep on at them. Like, the minute you've had your operation, I need that I need my normal medication, because then they can get it sorted quicker. I kept quiet because I was like, I trust them, it'll be fine. Sorry for crying. I freaking hate people that sit on camera and cry all the time. I'm very emotional today. Part of the process. It's not the hips. The hip surgery was wonderful. I woke up with no arthritis. How is that? You get up that morning and you've got crippling arthritis, and by the end of the day your arthritis is gone in that leg. How cool is that? And as for the hip itself, you know, I'm doing the live stream Saturday so that I can talk to everyone about, if they want to ask questions about the hip, they might want to ask questions about life or family or music. But I can tell you all about it. I don't ever want to relive that experience again of some idiot somewhere deciding that I don't need medication that cannot be stopped, because it's stupid. That's it from me. I'm gonna get off and wipe my stupid tears. Sorry for being a big baby. I will see you in tomorrow's live stream, 9 p.m. UK time. Love you lots. Don't forget the vlogging channel. I'm going to put a link below. Tally bye.